What up, guys? Welcome back to the Shit Podcast. Today we have a very special episode because we have a very important guest. His name is Coco Atama. It is important to know, with all the respect, that this is a blind skater, but this is not an obstacle for him. So let's meet him at the Shit Podcast. I hope that you feel inspired after this conversation. Welcome.
Hey, what is up, guys? I'm Coco. I'm from Burbank, California. Skateboarding is my life, my love, my passion, and I want to spread it to everyone. Welcome to the Shit Podcast.
Welcome. What's up, Coco? How is it going for you?
I'm pretty solid, man. Just existing. You know, the same thing I always do. I exist. I feel better than I used to, but I exist. And I'm sorry to ramble on, but that's always the one question I'm the worst at answering everywhere is, how am I? Because in my mind, there's only two places to be emotionally. Either you're feeling good or you're working towards feeling good. I never like to say I'm feeling okay or I'm feeling bad, because it's always just good or getting good.
Yeah, okay. I like the perspective that you give to this. Okay, so you are good right now. And what about skating? Are you going to skate today?
Today, I actually might reach out to some of my friends and see what they want to do, because there's a lot of places to skate around here by yourself. But a lot of times that gets kind of boring. So sometimes I like to meet up with my friends and we'll go skate downtown, or we'll go to a skate park. We'll do something, but maybe today, yeah, we'll see what people are up to. Well, actually, if no one's around today, I'm probably just going to go skate on my own after lunch, but hopefully someone's willing to go somewhere today.
Okay, I hope that you can skate today. I hope we can share in a certain way the session of today. So,
Yeah.
All right. So I wonder, when did you start to skate? How many years ago?
At this point, it's probably 19 years ago that I started. I got my very first skateboard 19 years ago.
Okay.
And back then, I could see. This was long before I lost my sight. I was actually serious about skating for a long time before losing my sight. And so what I do now, as of the past about 11, 12 years or so, has been a journey of, I didn't want to quit skating after my vision got worse, so I didn't. I just adapted and evolved.
Okay. Okay, so what was your motivation to start skating like 19 years ago?
It was a few things. My dad was a hardcore action sports dude, always skiing, traveling, all these things, racing, everything. I inherited almost all of his interests, but between going to the X Games every year and watching all the athletes, and then coming home and you had shows on TV like Rocket Power and you were playing games like Tony Hawk, it's like skateboarding is all around you. It's all inclusive. It's everywhere in your life. So even if you weren't doing it, you knew someone who was, or on the TV, you saw someone doing it. So I just knew that that was something I wanted to do with myself for the rest of my life.
That's really nice and that's really inspiring. So yeah, it's been a long time. And in these 19 years, is there a moment when you stopped skating, maybe? Or these 19 years you're skating during all?
There was two times that I stopped skating.
All right.
And the first time was around age 11 or 12, but it was only for like 6 months that I stopped. I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. I was going through some emotional stuff and my vision was still getting worse. So I wondered if I could keep going. Then I decided I really wanted to. And through that transition of skating with sight and starting to lose my vision and still trying to skate, it actually broke me down. Because when I could see, all I wanted to do was go pro and be the best in the world and be like everyone else. I thought it would make me cool. I thought it would help me find what I was missing out of life when I was depressed.
For sure.
And when I couldn't, when suddenly the simplest of tricks were hard for me, it really messed with me. And that was one of the times that I really wanted to kill myself. I just felt like life was over at that point and I should just stop existing. But it took me about a year or so, or two, to want to get back on a skateboard. And when I did, I came at it with a new vengeance. I decided that I shouldn't be looking up to skaters that were doing the same old thing. I should be looking up to guys like Mike V, Rodney Mullen, Johnny Geiger, guys who were making up their own tricks, making up their own style and reinventing things. Who cares if it looked cool? Who cares if it was normal? You're doing what you value for yourself. And that to me was the message and the kick that I needed to come back at skateboarding with a stronger approach. And so I openly admit, I may not be good right now, but all I want to do is two goals. I want to go pro and I want to be in a video game. Those are my only real goals. And through that, I've learned some ancillary side sort of goals where I want to inspire others. I don't want anyone to feel the same way I did. I want people, whether you're growing up with a disability, whether you have a rough home life, whether you're something, to know that you can do it. You matter. And if you want to skate, you're gonna. No one's gonna tell you you can't, especially not you. So those are my main reasons to keep on skating and to keep doing whatever I can. I may not be good. I may not be landing some crazy stuff like Jamie Foy, Chris Cole, Chris Jocelyn. I may not be able to, like, I don't know, Trey Flip El Toro or something. But you know what? I can get out there and do something where I previously thought I couldn't. And that's a win in my book.
My God, you said everything, man. Thank you for all these words. Were really inspiring, and I really admire the mindset and the perspective with which you are seeing life. So thank you for that. You are inspiring so many people right now, and I'm pretty sure that you are going to inspire more people in the near future. So thank you. Keep doing what you do. I really appreciate that, and so many people too. That's nice, man.
Thank you. That's all I want, man. All I want is to show everyone in the world that nobody has to do this. Nobody has to sit there and think about killing themselves. That's something no one should ever have to feel. And I think that with the right attitude and with the right outlet and the right environment, no one has to. And I guess that's also why I always say that my dream is to go pro, or be in a video game, because as weird as it sounds, it's not for my own purposes. It's not for fame. It's not for money. It's not for anything. It's because when I was a kid, the people that got me into skating were the people I saw on TV or at the X Games or in the Tony Hawk games. And when I was thinking about ending my life, the people who brought me out of it, guys like Mike V, Rodney Mullen, Johnny Geiger, these guys, I didn't know them personally. I saw them on the internet. I saw them on TV. I saw them, especially Mike V, again, in video games. Well, him and Rodney Mullen were at every Tony Hawk game, even up to Proving Ground. So the people in that position might be the people that get to kids faster. And that's why I want to be in that position. That way, anyone who is in my position, if you have a rough life, you're getting bullied at school and your parents don't listen to you at home, and you come home and you turn on the TV, that's the person you come to. It's unfortunate to say, but it sometimes isn't the person right next door to you. It's the person on that screen, because they've now come into your room, they've come into your head, and they've come into your life. So I want to be in that position, not for any sort of fame or recognition, but just so that I could expand my reach. And for the people who turn to video games and TV as a coping mechanism, they can see someone who can tell them, you matter and you can get everything you want.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. So let's make this dream happen. Let's go pro, and let's go as pro that you need to be in a video game. So what are your plans to achieve this? What are you going to do? What are your skate plans for these couple years, maybe?
I think my short term is it's a few different tiers. So for the biggest thing is, once I figured out that skateboarding was recognized as an Olympic sport, but also once I figured out that things like Adaptive Skateboarding League and things existed, I've been really in touch with people on that front, because I want to go to the top. There are guys like Justin Bishop and Dan Mancina, and I'm lucky to have become friends with these guys, but I want to be where they are, join all the adaptive skateboarding competitions, and if skateboarding ever becomes like part of the Paralympics, to join that too. That's the long term. In the very short term, I've got a few local companies that I skate for, but I've got other companies that I want to join up with, and companies like Bones, Primitive, Independent. They sound like big names, but I think I can join them, and I want to just keep on creating footage. I also want to try to find a way to continue skateboarding and inspiring people, and find a way to, it sounds unfortunate to say, but again, I'm not about money, but I want to find a way to make money at it, so that way I can afford to go more places, because I find that since I'm not able to drive myself, I have to Uber places, and that can get very expensive. So like a trip to a skate park could end up costing me $50, which means I can only do that so many times before I'm broke. But I think it's worth it to keep trying to grow myself. So I want to join with bigger companies, go to more contests, make more videos, land crazier tricks, make up new tricks, do all these things in the short term.
Yeah.
Go to bigger contests and get to the Paralympics in the long term, and eventually try to get to Dew Tour, Street League, X Games, Maloof. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to keep going and see how far I can take this.
Nice, that's really nice. Ambitious goals, and that ambition is what is going to make you achieve that. So always stay hungry as you are right now, please. Let's go for it. Okay, so talking about your projects, we also know that you have a YouTube channel. So what is this channel about?
So my YouTube channel, I almost never post to it nowadays, but that's just because there hasn't been much to post. Like for me, the short form of skateboarding, like when I just put out little clips on my Instagram, that's easy to do. But for long-term videos, I eventually want to do like a variety channel to a big degree. I want to do trick tips and review videos and things about skateboarding, but I also want to do animation and cartoon reviews, because I'm a hardcore nerd. When I'm not skating, I'm watching TV, and that's I love analyzing shows and universe building and how it all works. I also want to post music things up there, acting things up there. I don't post much to my channel right now because when I'm going full send on skateboarding and taking that as far as I can, and then doing school, that's basically taking up all the mental energy I've got. So I haven't really taken my YouTube channel seriously in a long time. I want to bring it back in a greater capacity, but at this current moment, I'm not really sure how. It sits dormant unless something comes up that I think, wow, this would be cool to post to YouTube. But I also am not ignoring it, if that makes sense.
Yes, that definitely makes sense. But yeah, I think that you should do that because you can inspire, you have the power to inspire so many people. In that sense, it is important. So many people are waiting for these inspiring words, this kind of inspiring words that you are able to say. So take it into account maybe in the near future, but yeah, you have the power, I tell you. So okay, so in this sense, what do you prefer to skate? Do you prefer to skate the streets or the skate parks?
Woof. Age-old question, street versus park.
Yeah.
I don't actually have an answer to that. I love street skating because you can really get a feel for a spot. You can use echolocation to hear and feel everything that is around you without having to see it. And that's cool. But I love parks because everything is so smooth. Everything is just so perfect. And even when it's not, like in NoHo, there are some sketchy spots, but I just think it's cool. Honestly, I like both. And I really think this is going to sound weird, but like I said before, my biggest inspiration was video games, and the way that I see the world, especially after losing my sight, was almost through the lens of a video game. And that's why, again, I don't care if I'm not that good and not doing some of the crazy tricks that everyone else is doing, because in my mind, everything is skatable. Like in every Tony Hawk game, when you skate around the streets, there's like ledges and quarter pipes made out of like walls, and you can grind on mailboxes. Everything is skatable. But then there's still skate parks to go to and shred it up. And that's what I think the world is like. Everything is skatable if you want it to be. So I'll just try everything.
Nice. So in this way, what is your favorite trick?
My favorite trick ever.
Yeah. Ever.
I'll give you, how about this? I'll give you three. I'll give you my favorite trick that I've landed myself.
Okay.
My favorite trick I've seen someone else do.
Perfect.
My favorite trick that is almost like my stratosphere, my shooting star, I'm aiming for this.
Okay. I like. Let's start.
So my favorite trick I've ever done.
Yeah.
Was, I would probably say, okay, this is unfair. I'll say it's a tie. Either laser flip or volleyball, which is a trick I made up, and it's a switch boneless shove body varial underflip.
All right. I can imagine that trick. So do you have footage of this trick?
Yes, I do actually. I do it everywhere to the point it's funny because it looks easy and it looks effortless, but a lot of people tell me that it's the most complex trick they've done. Actually, in the post I put on Instagram this morning, a little while ago, I did it as the last trick in my line. So you'll see it. I post footage of it all the time, but that is my favorite trick that I do.
All right.
One of them. besides fast plant laser flip, because I love finger flip variations. Now, my favorite trick that I've seen someone else do, but that also I want to get back, is primo slides, because I did one on accident one time and could never do it again. It was on a ledge at Skate Lab, which is no longer a park anymore, but I did it once and I could never do it again. I didn't get it on video, but I see people who can do them on lock, and I decided that that is a trick I need to get back.
Definitely, it's a very exotic trick. It is very difficult to figure out the technique of that trick. So, yeah.
Yep, that's exactly why I want to do it.
Yeah, let's go for it.
And
the third one?
But I'd say like the stratosphere though, the aiming, like the biggest absolute limit of what I want to do one day.
Okay.
It's actually, I wouldn't even call this the limit, because after this I'll find something new to do. But
nice.
I want to jump over a car, and right now I feel like my switch boneless is high enough that if I had the right speed and the right angle and maybe a kicker to launch off of, I think I can do it. But that's what I want to do. And I want to learn how to McTwist.
McTwist on a vert ramp?
Yep, I am terrible at vert. The most I can do is drop in, but I don't care. I want to learn it.
Let's go for it. It's an ambitious goal and you're going to make it happen because you have it in your mind. So let's make it happen, man.
Yup, that's the dream right there. And I guess that's the beauty to me in skateboarding, is because it constantly grows and evolves with you. Who cares what you have done before, what you haven't done, what you want to do? Just go out and try something, because why not? I mean, I very recently, a couple months ago, got over my fear of dropping in on pools and stuff, only because I was at a skate park and there was a really nice bowl, and I said, hey, I'm gonna drop into this today. And I did. I fell a bunch and it took me a few hours, and way after the lights got turned off and everyone left, but I did it. So there.
Yeah, you did it. Okay, that's nice. So talking about fear, what is your strategy to defeat the fear, to beat the fear, to deal with the fear when it comes to skating?
I just do. It sounds so simple to say, but for example, when I was trying to drop in, I kept chickening out. I kept not wanting to commit to it. And so eventually, since all of my friends kept being there to support me, I told them, you know what, here, we're just gonna do this by like playground rules. Like when you were a kid and you were scared to go down the slide and all of your friends were watching you and you just had to go. So I set my board up and I leaned forward, specifically so if I put my front foot on the board, I'd have to go. I couldn't chicken out. And my friends counted down from, I think it was 10 and then it was 5. But they were counting down, because then it's like at 1, you have to go. If it's playground rules, you can't chicken out if your friends already counted down, because then you can never look them in the eye again. So you just have to do it. And
yeah.
That was my same case when I was riding off of the giant box. I'm eventually going to come back and completely ollie off it. But when I did that, I knew that the only way to do it was to full send it, go faster than I think I had to, bend my knees more than I thought I had to, and just go as hard as you can. Because worst comes to worst, you land it perfectly, and then you slip out or fall after you've landed. But if you don't commit to it, you sometimes might mess yourself up worse. Like I ended up doing the splits with 1 foot on top of the big old box and 1 foot on the bottom, and it was really uncomfortable. When you don't commit, you hurt yourself more than when you send it.
Okay, yeah, I can imagine. Bad situation. Yeah, but very good advice. So okay, All right, Coco, the conversation is about to end. One last question and that's it, all right? Thank you for this conversation. So, what would be your advice for everyone, for all the people who want to make their dream happen?
Listen to you and keep wanting what you want, because the second you stop fighting and the second you stop wanting, the possibility of you getting it, poof, it's off the table. If you don't want it and you're not going to fight for it, you're not going to get it. So listen to yourself and keep wanting and keep fighting for what you want.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much for the advice and for these recommendations.
It's ironic, but I was talking a lot about the X Games, but I think this is what this feels like. I think I'm wearing my X Games sweater. I don't know if you can tell, but
yeah, I can notice it for sure. It's a very good
That's awesome. But yeah, so is there anything else you need from me?
No. In fact, thank you for being here. It was a pleasure to conversate with you. And yeah, that was it for today, Coco. Thank you for your words, as I was mentioning, and good luck with all your projects.
Thank you, and let's stay in touch, man. Where are you located currently?
Currently, I'm in Colombia, as I was saying to you, in Bogota, Colombia. But yeah, for sure, let's keep in touch, man.
If I ever make it to Colombia, or if you're ever in Los Angeles, we gotta skate.
For sure, we need to do that. Let's make it happen and let's keep in touch, please. All right?
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you for your vibes and thank you for your words. Good luck with your projects, man.
Alright guys, this was Coco Atama. I am feeling really inspired right now. For everything that he has said, I really hope that you feel inspired too, not only for skating, but also for living life. Let us know what you think about this interview in the comments down below, and right now let's go skate safe.